Memoirs of a Swine, Volume 1, St. Lucy's Eyes by Alexander Farrar. There were 3 reasons for writing this book. One was as a rebuttal to pick-up artist handbooks. I've read a lot of really bad advice in them and feel someone ought to set the record straight. First off, that palmistry crap is for schmucks. Pick-up lines too, forget 'em. And some of that stuff the so-called masters are saying, like going to the ATMs in the better side of town and rooting through the garbage next to 'em where people throw their receipts. They say when you find a receipt for an impressively large withdrawal, you keep it handy in your pocket for when you want to give your number to some girl you just met. You write your number on the back, and she's guaranteed to call. But that's pretending you're something you're not. What's the point? She's going to find out sooner or later. Ditto walking into a crowded bar alone and pretending to point and wave at people you don't know, so you look popular to anyone who happens to be watching. That's not how to be a man, that's how to be a poser. Another reason for writing this book is the astonishing number of books on how to be a man. That's something I've taken an interest in, and I find the advice people are spouting to be weak. We don't need to know how to do a convincing comb-over. We need to know how to be bald and proud of it. We don't need to know how to wear jewelry tastefully or how to pronounce French wines without sounding like a poof. We don't need to be okay with who we are. We need to know how to be better. We especially don't need to know how to go running to a teacher and tell on a bully. We need to know when to hit first and where and how much is enough, and how not to be a chicken when someone's holding a gun to your head. So I wrote this, based on how I learned, the hard way. I wrote it as a novel, and some of the names I changed to protect the guilty. It turned out to be rather long, so we're breaking it up into a trilogy of 6 books. About the name Johnny Yen, it was an alias I had for a while, like Rabbit. Some black dudes used to call me that, and it stuck. My middle name is John, after my grandfather and one uncle, and there's a Johnny Yen in 2 songs, one about an artist who's always doing over-the-top crap to get attention, and another, Lust for Life, by Iggy Pop. Both seemed fitting. And now the 3rd reason, because it's a true story. It's based on a series of crazy adventures I had during my salad days when I was green in judgment, where I both roosted in hen houses and wallowed in pigsties, and writing this is my way to make lemonade. We expats all like to swap stories of how we came to be in Antigua, the same way born-again Christians love to tell how they came to know Jesus, how we found our way here. This is probably true of expats in every country, but I can only speak for us. Oftentimes, the stories are hilarious, and I make vague plans to compile a book of them. For example, one friend was a drug dealer with a hot, crazy girlfriend. She asked him to loan her $1,000 for an investment, and he readily paid it. He left to go check his production line, and when he came home, there were 1,000 scratch-off lottery tickets scattered on the floor. Big fight, lot of screaming, break up, slamming door. Popped a beer and sat down. Deep sigh. Picked up a ticket and absently scratched it off. Boom! 1 free trip to Antigua, Guatemala. He came so he could distract himself from his broken heart, and while he was here, his little operation got raided and everyone but him went to jail. Stories like that. Well, this trilogy of 6 books is mine. How before I became the Renaissance man, the chef-owner of a very popular restaurant, author of now 22 books, and successful neoclassical and Baroque artist, I was just a hard-drinking, bar-fighting, heartbreaking prick. I hope you like it.